Farmer groups are furious about rising energy and fertiliser costs. Since the war in Iran and high gas prices, fertilisers are becoming very expensive to produce, and farmers were hoping for serious support from Brussels. Now, the European Commission will come out with the Fertiliser Action Plan next Tuesday, but the leaked version so far has not impressed farmer groups. For more, we can bring in now Massimiliano Giansanti. That's the president of COPA, a group that represents no less than 22 million farmers all across Europe. So thank you so much for joining us. Good morning to you. And tell us first your thoughts on the leaked version of this draft fertiliser action plan that will come out next Tuesday here in Brussels.
Hello, good morning. The situation in the countries is serious and critical. We have seen a significant increase in fertilizers and energy costs. In particular, on the fertilizer side, the price of urea has passed from 300 euros per ton to 1,000 euros per ton. So the farmers are really tough. The situation is not so good. The first leaks on the action plan on next week is not what we expect, but it's leaked, so we have to see. We have three clear requests to the Commission. First of all, to suspend the CBAM tax. The CBAM tax is another cost for the consumers, because the farmers must to pay for this year more or less 1 billion euros more just in taxes, and we will arrive at 3.4 billions of euros in the next year, so much money for farmers. Second one, more flexibility in the use of the nitrate directive. In this moment, we have to use all what we have inside of our farms. Why we have to go on the market to buy and spend so much money? Third, to have a temporary removal of MFN tariffs on duties on the fertilizers imports. It's very important. Why? Because the risk is to have increasingly prices in the cost for farmers, and that means the farmers are going to switch to change their program. The FAO says we are on phase on an agri-shock and agri-food inflation. And that is what we don't want to have.
Well, indeed, that was my next question for consumers. What's at stake here for them? Could we be facing food shortages in your view?
The risk is to have increasing price on the food, yes. And what we saw in the past that on the example on the Ukrainian war in 2022, later 6 to 9 months, we had a seriously increasing in the price of the food. And the risk is to have the same thing also this time. So the time to act is now. And this is why we make pressure on the commissioner. The farmers is not just an expended money for commission. It's food security, and the food security is what the European citizens want by the farmers.
So you've got three very clear demands there for the European Commission, but of course you won't get exactly what you want. Do you think the Commission might meet you here in the middle? Have you high expectations ahead of Tuesday's proposal?
I don't know. Let's see. The expectations are very high because the situation is really critical. There is a lot of farmers that are using less fertilizers. That means we have less production on the next summer on wheat, as example. The wheat is at the basis for bread or pasta. So, and the risk is that the farmers on the next September are going to have different choices on the next sowing time.
OK, thank you so much for that. We'll check in again with you, of course, next Tuesday.